A reading from the Gospel of Luke. As he came near and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, "If you, even you, had only recognized on this day the things that make for peace. But now they are hidden from your eyes. Indeed, the days will come upon you when your enemies will set up ramparts around you and surround you and hem you in on every side. They will crush you to the ground, you and your children within you, and they will not leave within you one stone upon another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation from God." Those are some of the saddest words I've ever read. You did not recognize your visitation from God. And so we are condemned by this, particularly those who do not recognize Jesus as Savior. God, in his infinite love for us, sent his very best to us, sacrificed his very best to save our lives. And yet so many people in Jesus' time refused to see who he was, refused to recognize, refused to see the truth. And Jesus weeps for them. How much love he must have for us, that he saw and experienced all the things that he saw, even as he's on his way to being crucified. And yet he stops and weeps for us. This is our Savior, who loves us, who does not delight in the destruction of any one of us, but desires that we turn our hearts to him, that we follow him and do the will of his Father. It moves me just to think about that love and to know that that is the Savior that I follow. A person of such compassion and such love that even in the midst of all the sin and evil that he witnessed while on earth, that his heart was moved for us to the point that he wept. So we have to ask ourselves each and every day, what kind of follower will we be? Will we truly follow in the steps of our Savior? We know that those steps are not easy steps, and yet he was entirely devoted to his mission, as we should be to ours. The time is running short. Are we concerned about the salvation of our brothers and sisters who do not know Christ? What are we doing to reach out to them? As Jesus is nearing the end of his life, so we're nearing the end of ours. Let us do all that God has called us to do, to be faithful in doing it. Not just the things that feel good for us to do, but the things that actually save the lives of the lost. We have an exemplar and a Christ who wept for us. Amen.